In this video, we are going to explore the new function, showing how it works. This is a tool in ElementsCAD, where you can freely create section dimensions, ultimately generating a cut. Here in this 3D drawing, which we have already derived sections from, we want to measure it entirely. What's interesting is that these chain dimensions also work in groups. This means we don't necessarily have to dissolve the groups first, we can directly create dimensions within the groups. In the settings, I have the option to dimension only the hatched objects, for example. This would mean that I only dimension the objects that are hatched. I have the possibility to specify the dimension style for each dimension type. This means I'll be dimensioning only the objects that are hatched, and the rest will not be dimensioned. This will simplify the dimensioning process. Here's another example. Just draw a line through and you can place the dimension directly with a third click. Of course, I can now intervene and decide, for instance, that these two doors should not be included in the dimensioning. Let me give them a pattern, and I want to use the chain dimensioning tool again. Now, these two objects have been dimensioned. As we can see, only the objects with a surface or a track are dimensioned. Furthermore, I can define in the settings that ultimately everything should be dimensioned. It will look like this when I draw a line again, and all objects are automatically detected. And in a third option, I can dimension clearances here, meaning the spaces between objects are simply captured. As we can see here, the spaces representing the clearances are detected. As we see here, the clearance between these two objects, such as the compartment floor or the intermediate floor. The individual dimensions can then be adjusted or moved if necessary, to make everything clearer. I can potentially adjust or move the individual dimensions here, to make the whole thing more organized. With the U key, I can directly intervene here and make adjustments as needed. Anything that is hatched should be dimensioned, and then I will only get these dimensions here. Here's another object. It's simply a carved object of a wall and a door frame. I can go back in and, for example, use chain dimensioning again. Let's capture everything in this area, and now all the objects are dimensioned. But, one thing to note is that you have to make sure that everything is hatched, because if there are no surfaces hatched, then nothing will be dimensioned. However, as soon as I switch to Everything option, all these lines are dimensioned as well. The dimensioning works for all objects present here. Let me give you an example, and I'll switch to a different plane. Now, I'll select any area, switch back to the dimensioning tool, draw a line, and everything is dimensioned immediately. Moreover, in terms of speed, it's incredibly fast to achieve the desired results. Here, you get the desired results very quickly. In the settings of chain dimensioning, we have the option, as shown earlier, to only dimension hatched objects. In other words, only parts that have a surface and whose surface is not hidden, but has a specific color and pattern, are dimensioned. Additionally, the second option, clearance dimensioning, is more or less the opposite. Here, the clearances between surfaces are dimensioned. The reason for this distinction is that it allows for better control, so that not too many objects are included in a mask, which could lead to overlapping dimensions. With the third option, everything, all dimensions that are possible there will be created. The spacing setting here adjusts the spacing between the boundary lines of the dimensions. When set to 0, the spacing from the default settings is used. Similar to the vertical spacing of the dimensions. The spacing of the dimensions is about how much space is between them when they are placed next to or above each other. The decimal places option allows you to specify the number of decimal places to display in the dimensions.